toxic masculinity.
France bans use of woke gender-neutral language in schools.
Yeah, I wanted to cover this story, but I didn't have time to read this one today. So let's have a look here. France bans the use of woke gender-neutral language in schools. It's a danger for our country. I love that. I love that. We should do that. We should do that. France is continuing to crack down on far-left attempts to make the country woke by banning the use of gender...
Isn't he gay? Sorry.
No, darling, he's French. I know, sometimes it's hard.
Gay.
No, he's French.
I think he's a hidden gay.
Darling, all Frenchmen are a little...
Then I don't like it.
Anybody watching this from France is like, you dick. It's a joke, obviously. Let's see here. Attempts to make the country woke by banning the use of gender-neutral language in schools, saying that the push was a threat to French language altogether and could push people to learn English instead. I love that. I love that. I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day about this. Like the European countries, including the UK, all the European countries have massively failed to protect their own cultures. They've let in too many immigrants too quickly, and they are destroying their own countries. They're destroying their own societies, and they need to start cracking down now, or else Europe is going to be unrecognizable in 10, 20 years. I mean, it's just going to be, it's not going to, there's going to be no white people left, you know? I mean, that's kind of an exaggeration, but it is a little scary, you know? I don't want to go through Vienna and have it be all, you know, what do you call that? All Middle Eastern language, all Arabic letters everywhere. You know, I want Europe to remain Europe. If I'm going to travel through Europe, I want to see Europeans. I want to see lederhosen. I don't want to see hijabs everywhere. You know, if I want to see that, I'll go to the United Arab Emirates. I'll go to some Arab country if I want to experience that culture. I do think that people have a right to preserve their culture. You know, in whatever place they're from, their ancestors are from. Let's see here. The country's education ministry issued the ruling last week after a push to include full stops in the middle of written words, dubbed midpoints, which allowed both male and female forms to be represented simultaneously. That's bizarre. Okay, yeah, that's weird. I don't speak French. I mean, I speak a little French. I don't speak French well enough to really understand what that means. I know I know French is a language which is has gender words, right? So like the word car might be male, and the word, you know, table might be female.
Same as in Russian, we have gender.
Right. So I guess that's what they mean. I'm not really sure. Which allowed both male and female forms to be represented simultaneously, the Daily Mail reported. In French grammar, nouns take the gender of the subject to which they refer, with male preferred over female in mixed settings. Right, because and historically, the word man in English also meant women. It was like mankind, right? All men are created equal meant all humans are created equal. All men and women are created equal. But for whatever reason, the left doesn't recognize this, like they don't understand it. And so they want to change all like the, you know, historical texts. Instead of saying man to represent all humans, they want to say like people or men and women. It's idiotic. I mean, it's almost being like super lazy. There's nothing misogynist about the word man. The word man just historically
It's
just
ma'am.
It's a ma'am. Okay, let's see here. The Académie Française, a nearly 400-year-old institution that, or the Académie Française, I don't know, nearly 400-year institution that guards the French language, pushed back on the attempt to make the language woke, saying that it's harmful to the practice and understanding of French. Well, exactly, yeah. And we're destroying the English language real quick. Natalie Limas, the state secretary for priority education, said on Tuesday that the attempts to make the language woke were a danger to our country and the death knell for the use of the French. And the death knell for the use of French in the world. Limas said the move would not make the language more popular and instead would drive people to learn English instead. With the spread of inclusive writing, the English language already quasi-hegemonic across the world would certainly and perhaps forever defeat the French language, she said. And we can keep reading about this, but the point is that the French realized that wokeness is destroying their culture. The great thing about France, or I guess the great thing, the one thing that is something of a relief, something that gives me hope about the French, is that they have endured a lot of sort of cultural pressure from Muslims. Like their country has been seriously affected by an influx of Muslims into France, and almost everything about Muslim cultures, people from Muslim cultures moving into France, has been detrimental to the French, to the country, to the people, to the society, to the culture, to everything. Absolutely detrimental. So they realized the harm, and the French started pushing back before any of the other European countries, and they're the only one. One of the few, I guess you got like Poland and Hungary and places like that, but it's one of the few countries that have really pushed back against all this sort of woke leftist crap, because they realize a lot of it pushes, we need to have open immigration and we have to have more Muslims coming into your country. And they're like, whoa, 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 no. This has caused a huge number of problems for our country. And so they're recognizing this and they're pushing back in various ways. And
Just hope by the time we can visit France, me and you, they will still have croissant and not the hummus, Hummus, I mean.
Well, exactly.
You know what hummus I mean. Hamas?
No, not Hamas. Yeah. Well, hopefully they won't have Hamas or hummus. But I do like hummus. I mean, who doesn't like hummus? You don't like hummus? Well, there's something wrong with you. All right, darling. Let's read the next story, because the next story actually is a nice contrast to this one.
Okay. Second largest teachers union member to go woke.
Right. So the second largest teachers union encourages all of its members to get enlightened through texts on anti-racism and white fragility. So as the French become less woke, we become more woke. Toxic Masculinity. Weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.